et président en exercice de l'Union africaine, Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs les chefs d'État et de gouvernement membres du comité des 10, Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs. D'emblée, j'aimerais saluer les efforts de Son Excellence, Monsieur le Président Bio, pour le travail accompli et le leadership imprimé à la tête du comité des 10.
For the work made as head of the C10, the virtual meeting that took place in July by the C10 had adopted the proposed model by member states in terms of security. We are meeting today bearing in mind that we have gotten to a crossroads on this historic process. This year, indeed, is the 20th anniversary, referencing two documents that reflect the common endeavor, as a winning consensus declaration. In those documents, we together design and define and mention our view on the future of this continent with the enlarged Security Council and 5 non-permanent membership. This is based on a strong conviction that United Nations must reflect today's realities, not 1945 realities.
Since the establishment of the United Nations, Africa has transformed from a collection of colonized and trusteeship territories into a continent of 55 sovereign nations, home to 1.4 billion people, more than a quarter of the General Assembly's membership. Africa hosts the highest number of UN-mandated missions, contributes to the largest contingents to UN peace operations, and bears the social and economic cost of conflict more than any other region. By 2050, Africa's young people will represent a third of the global workforce. Yet Africa remains the only region without a single permanent seat on the Security Council. This imbalance is no longer acceptable. The Zolweni Consensus and the Sirte Declaration remain the cornerstone of the African common position. They are built on fairness, legitimacy, and justice. They also reflect the objectives of our Constitutive Act and Agenda 2063 to ensure Africa's rightful place in global decision-making and to defend African common positions on all matters of concern to our peoples. We take note that many world leaders, the UN Secretary General in our common agenda, and even the 2024 Summit of the Future have recognized the need for the Security Council to be reformed. We acknowledge support from the Caribbean and the G77 plus China. Yet, despite this rhetorical support, Africa's legitimate demands, including full veto rights, remain unmet. Progress has been painfully slow. Your Excellencies, 2025, the 80th anniversary of the United Nations, must be a turning point. The African Union, through the C10, calls on the General Assembly to act decisively. The reform of the Security Council is not a matter of convenience, but of necessity, essential for the credibility of multilateralism itself. On this landmark occasion, we therefore issue a call to all UN member states, and especially the permanent members of the Security Council, to engage earnestly in the reform negotiations and to honor the African common position. Correcting this historic injustice is indispensable to the legitimacy and effectiveness of the United Nations in the 21st century. In conclusion, I wish to invite Your Excellencies to enrich our deliberations today so that this 7th summit becomes a milestone in our common struggle. Let us reaffirm with one voice that Africa will no longer wait on the margins of history. I thank you.
I thank the chairperson, Yusuf, for his statement and for his steadfast leadership in ensuring the African Union Commission provides the necessary support to the C10. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to invite His Excellency João Manuel González Lorenzo, my brother, President of Angola and Chairperson of the African Union, to deliver the keynote address on the theme commemoration of the 20th anniversary of the Ezowini Consensus and the SAT Declaration, 2 decades of the common African position, redressing historical injustice, advancing equity and inclusivity in the UN Security Council.
Thank you very much.
Monsieur le Président Julius Mahamoud, Président de la République de Sierra Leone.
Forma do Conselho de Segurança da Excelência, chefe de Estado e de Governo do C10, Excelência Mahamoud Ali Yusuf, Presidente da Comissão da União Africana, minhas senhoras, meus senhores. Na qualidade de Presidente da República de Angola e na de Presidente em exercício da
President of the Chairman of the African Union.